everybody didn't like it? Of course they didn't. Everybody doesn't fucking like ice cream. Some people actually don't like ice cream, if you can believe that. You could actually find a group of people who fucking say, I don't like ice cream. I don't understand those people, but like you know, if you just put the camera on them, you get a major backlash against ice cream. It gives you headaches that rots your teeth.
It's that time of year.
That's what you do. You just go after their picture. But the people who say the meanest shit do not have a fucking picture.
They're like a bot, like an egg.
It's like the egg.
It's like the egg.
Yeah.
Well, that's like people, I think, that make profile, fake ones, just to troll, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, which I respect. If you're doing it to just get a rise out of somebody, I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's
even if you get me, I think it's fucking fun. But if you're doing it because you're too much of like a coward, because that's so saying they don't need it. Growing up, I could have fucking typed something and sent it to somebody on TV. I mean, how long do you do that before you're like, you seem like you fucking make them mad? I mean, it's like when you bought a BB gun when you were a kid. It's like, you know, you shoot the trees, and then it's fucking some can. And eventually you're going to shoot at each other. You just have to keep it.
Weird chat.
I actually bursted out laughing when I read that. But the thing is, you just have to like.
That's the other thing is I think that because
I actually looked the word up too because someone's like, that's not a bad word, but I guess it came from some. Everything comes from something.
No, I do think you're like technically not supposed to. It's on the list of things that you're not supposed to maybe say.
Come on, you got to keep some of those. Mongoloid has to stick around. Well, what I love is all these, woke people who are using all the latest terms. Like these terms are then going to be outdated.
Oh no, it's going to be offensive in 2 years.
I'm trying to think of.
I said gender creative once because that was the new thing, and then they said it's gender non-conforming, and then I was like, okay, and then it was gender non-binary. What is it now? Benton can tell us. Gender fluid.
Yeah, gender fluid or queer.
Okay.
But that's not the same thing, is it? Gender fluid means you're bisexual.
No.
Queer means.
Benton
gender
twins.
fluid means some days you feel more like a boy and some days you feel more like a girl.
All right. And this is the thing. Now, am I in trouble because I didn't know that?
No,
I'm too busy trying to. I fucking put a bet in who's going to win the Super Bowl. All right, that's what the stats I'm focused on right now.
Yeah, who's gonna win?
I think the Seattle Seahawks are gonna go up against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
And I think Pete Carroll's going to get his second ring. That's what I think.
I'm from DC, and I feel like you can't even say the name of the team. No, Washington. The team from Washington. Don't say it's the Redskins. Yeah, I went on Rich Eisen's show, and I was like, I'm a Washington Redskins fan. He was like, they say the team from Washington.
Since when? Yeah, but I gotta be honest with you. That is one of the, I don't know how the fuck that one. I'm always just sitting there. I know it's just sitting there. At least you didn't know what we were talking about. Here's one of the people inside of our helmets. And then Native Americans are none of them protect something. Which skin is that red? I don't know if that's skin. It could be like a fucking Washington That's one of those. There's just certain things like that. You know, it's stupid tomahawk chop. It's just like, oh my god, how the fuck are you still doing this? Tomahawk because of it's like, you look like you're in a fucking western 1930s. I'm waiting for like a fucking like John Wayne to come walking on. It's just like, yeah, but you know something? I like to also. It's very easy to sit down here and talk about it. No one wants to say, oh, we want to know what's going on. With you because we're always at the fucking store and we talk for like 10 minutes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would not want to make you mad.
No. Benton had to see it. I got a tree delivered. I get real mad about like little things. Big things, I don't even care. Car wrecks, like I'll leave my car and I'm like, I'll deal with it.
Exactly how I am.
By the way, that was kind of a weird moment. Bill just came over and we just watched coyotes walk around in my yard.
Yeah, there was a wall. But that's why I keep telling my wife when my daughter goes outside. It's like, there's coyotes out here. So
they
you gotta
took
make
one
sure.
off of a porch in Arizona. A baby.
Oh my God. Why did I bring that up?
Sorry.
I just ruined my fucking day.
Sorry.
How do you ever get past that?
I don't.
And you're telling me if there's a God and he lets that happen and then you blow your brains out because you can't deal with that fucking sadness, which is exactly what the fuck I would do. He's then going to give me shit for fucking killing myself.
This is why I go
This
crazy.
is why I don't go to church.
This is why
it doesn't fucking make sense.
This is why I get so angry. Shit like that. We just showed videos. I wake up in the middle of the night, sleepwalk, and fight with coyotes in my sleep because I'm so afraid of them taking my dogs. after I heard that story. Fucked up my whole life. Shouldn't have brought it up. Sorry.
Who would have thought your robot is less fucking scarier? I mean, Jesus Christ. You fucking sleep. You know how fucking...
I sleepwalk, yeah. Do you sleep well?
Some nights I do.
Yeah.
I think I as I've gotten older and you know found the person I'm supposed to be with, and now I have a beautiful daughter. There's like there's ramifications.
Yeah.
For my actions, so I really have to, you know, I gotta fucking chill. So I play drums a lot. I do that a lot. Like I try to do that when that's sort of my little thing. I'll just say, I'm going to go out in the garage and see if my drums still work. That's what I say.
And then does it
You'd be a great drummer.
Do you think so? Just like letting out my...
I mean, it would be good for you. It's fun.
Really?
It's a lot. Oh yeah.
I had an injury. I broke my shoulder and I can't box, which was a thing that I really liked to get aggression out. And I can't do that anymore. But drumming, maybe I'll try. I'm sure I suck at it though.
Well, I mean, you suck at everything when you start it, but you just keep building it up. And now with like YouTube and shit, it's sort of limitless as far as like what you can see out there. Like the kids that play drums now they're fucking unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Because you have to start young though, right?
No, it's because then now you're basically jamming with the world. Like it was like when you grew up, when I was a kid, you were as good as what you could take from a record and who was in your neighborhood to show you shit.
Yeah.
So that was, your world was very small. And like nowadays, it's just like everything. Cities had sound, that gets hurt now. It's just sort of
Rolling on watch that song. So good. I love that
Comedy's the only thing I ever really stuck with. So that was the only thing I ever really kind of got good at. Everything else I kind of, jack of all trades. But I actually, one of the best live drummers I ever saw was Dave. I saw Dave Grohl on the Them Crooked Vultures tour. I saw him at the Wiltern. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool because I also got to see one of the members of Led Zeppelin because John Paul Jones was in that. Of course, Josh Homme. And I forget who the guy, they had a hired gun on guitar. It was fucking killer. And it was just like... It was awesome. It was just everybody in that band was just the real deal, and they came out. What the hell was the song? It was some song. It's just it was so but still was also like that. It just was fucking so out. I couldn't believe it. The person I was with who didn't even play drums was like, Jesus Christ, that guy's like really good, right? That's like, because they're not like, drummers don't get a lot of love.
No.
A lot of people know Dave Grohl because he's a frontman of Foo Fighters, but like if you were just like the drummer in the band, there's a lot of people, everybody knows Jim Morrison, they don't know they don't know John Densmore, you know what I mean? So
and doesn't the drummer kind of set they're in a way the conductor in a way, like they sort of set the beat of the song?
From what I've heard, I mean, I don't do that if I play with people, but like great drummers, it's just basically like
the heartbeat of the band.
Well, basically, if you like a good, it's almost like an editor in a movie, where like editor can take a good performance and make it great, or take a good performance and make it bad. I feel like a drummer does the same thing, where it's like it can take a good band and can elevate the sound, or you can just drag it down. Probably. I mean, I don't know shit about it, but just as far as that goes, Yeah, the same monster. I actually, when I just came across this monster, I didn't even heard of it. I only listened to the first thing out of it. Just how they jumped through it. Last song is a drum beat that he plays. It's just fucking mind-blowing.
Is it like, like quarterbacks, they say, are like cerebral? His drum kit is pretty cerebral, isn't it? As well as physical?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, it's just a hobby. I don't know. But I think all the interviews that I watched with him, it was like, I actually saw him in Hollywood. I would be very fucking drunk. He was talking about, someone was asking about it. Crazy fucking drum fill that he did that just it somehow fit. Like, these things that you work on, and I work on stuff, whatever. And then are you thinking tonight I'm going to pull that fill out? And he said, no. He said, I just let it go. I don't think about it. He said this was such a profound thing. Transcended drum. He said, thinking is the enemy. So it's not like you're out there listening to as a comedian, everyone hear the words. Between your ears, now I'm doing this job.
That didn't go well.
Yeah. So let's do it, by the way. But then there's nights like, one of the best things that can ever happen is you walk out immediately and you get heckled. That Richard Pryor special, if you watch that down in Long Beach, he walked out, people weren't sitting down, they were talking, he started flowing, and he got into a fucking zone like I've never seen since. And he got into this fucking zone from the beginning to the and that special's like an hour and 18 minutes or something like that. 14 minutes, I forget.
Mm-hmm.
It was just killing. Killing. That was like, he had that set that never happens on the special.
Ever.
You know what I mean?
Just so robotic.
He fucking had that like set, and I you know, just being a fan of music, I've listened to musicians, and it's sort of that same thing, like when you're in the zone, the same thing like, you know, basketball players can't miss a shot. There's a thing when you get into like this, you know, as a comedian, you just get out there, improv, and it's funny, and you just feel like you're light, just floating, and then the very next show is always the worst. Because the next show is like, is it going to happen again?
To replicate it.
Or you're thinking about the last show, so then you're here.
That's true.
And you're just going like, then I said this, and then I did this improv, and nothing's working. And you're like, oh, I thought I had 20 minutes of new stuff. I don't even have 30 seconds. And
I think they call it flow state. There was an interesting book about flow states. But then if you're trying so hard to...
It's terrible. Such a beautiful thing to experience. Flow state.
Flow state.
Chop, chop.
Sounds like a always with wings, an easy flow day. It sounds like a woman's sanitary pad.
It's just for something that it's describing. Mm-hmm. It's flow state. It's the exact opposite. That sounds like when you're fucking stuck in your head.
When you're not thinking about what you're doing. So many times I feel like in specials, like you're looking down on yourself, like just doing the thing you've been doing. You're like, get out of there. Get in there.
So you have to develop. I just sort of develop like tricks to get myself out of that.
Oh.
So what it is what you don't realize is every night you fuck up a joke. You fuck something up. Even if you're doing like a 10-minute set, you fuck something up.
Right.
Or you had like a brain fart. Something fucking happened. But you don't notice because it's not being documented. And it's then with the second the camera comes on, it becomes like, oh my God, and everybody's going to know. And it's just, you have to get yourself into that. Look at a special as like, this is not going to be the perfect performance. You're just documenting where my act was on this night, right here, and I'm going to come out with the same. It's a weird thing because the stakes aren't where they are, but you have to put them back down to some
just another
sort of
show.
To a functioning level, so you can just go out and do what you do, and it takes a number of those to learn how to do that.
It's so hard. Usually what I try to do is I'll try to get it and then go, okay, we got it. Now the next one's the one. And then I was talking to Mike Bertolino about this, who runs Bill's company. He's just the greatest. I was like, I want to just do 10 shows, and you guys just secretly record one of them. Just don't tell me which one it is.
I've thought about that. Or if I recorded 10.
Yeah.
But then what you're doing is then you're making like, I feel like that's the comedy version of when they overproduce an album.
Yeah.
And then there's no mistakes. There's nobody breathing on it.
Yes.
It's just like everything's like, been Pro Tooled and just fucking lined up. I mean, I feel like the stuff that people, the same way, like the stuff that people like the most are the mistakes.
That's right. Always.
It actually makes it like, it's like when, if you ever done like a sitcom taping.
Never.
The crowd goes, if you fuck up a line,
yes, they go.
That's what they came there
that's
for.
That's right. Berserk. They don't want to see a pre-packaged, polished thing. People are also so savvy now. Someone was telling me that photos get twice as many likes if your arm is in it and you're taking it yourself. But if you do like a perfectly, like Wes Anderson, symmetrical, good photo in front of the Leaning Tower, seen it. No thanks. Too perfect.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Not interesting?
Yeah.
We're moving towards, like, we want authentic, we want messy, we want sort of, not sloppy.
I don't know if we want authentic.
I know. People say they're like,
no.
We want your
authentic would also be the truth of everything, which I don't think anybody could handle. Which is why I'm fucking watching Me TV.
Me TV. There's a couple questions people have for you. You asked so many that I was reluctant. One thing I did want to ask you about was the Surf Ballroom, Clear Lake, Iowa show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to hear your thoughts on it. I don't know anything about it.
All right, that's the place where Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Barper performed, and then they died. They got on a plane. I don't think it was...
Whoa.
De-icing. I don't know if that existed back then. I don't know what it was, or the kid was too inexperienced for what he flew into, and they died. But I always just wanted, just being a music fan, I wanted to see the place, and I went on the road with who was I with? I was with Dean Del Rey, and I was in this regular hotel, and then Dean found just randomly in that town. Who? Are you good with architects? I'm really bad with architects.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that fucking
It's
guy?
Frank Gehry. I'm good with.
That guy who built everything out.
This episode of
They almost look like fucking King Tut looking houses.
Can we Google King Tut architect?
I always want to say like fucking L. Ron Hubbard. I know it's not that.
He has some good buildings.
It's one of those
the
fucking
Scientology
things.
buildings are always very
They have great taste in real estate, those Scientologists.
Yeah, they do.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh, well, yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Okay,
Frank Lloyd
got
Wright,
it.
Right? There was a Frank Lloyd Wright hotel in the middle of
In
fucking
Iowa?
Yeah. And it was the shit. So we stayed there.
That's wild.
We flew into like Detroit or something. I don't forget where we flew. Maybe Chicago or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we took like this little plane there.
Yeah.
So of course everybody's like, oh my God, we're taking a little plane. Are we going to die? It's like, no, they have technology. There's all kinds of
I
stuff
would just
there.
think the pilots have kids. The pilots want to stay alive. I just have to focus on them.
And it was also a woman pilot, and we could like see her, and it was sitting there like it was like nothing here. So my butt. Oh no, it was a different flight.
That's what I'm saying. They have to be twice as good.
I hope.
Yeah.
But with all this bitching on social media, they might have been pressured into a hire, which I've seen in sports. They'll push someone in the broadcast booth before they're fucking ready to be like, see, whoever did that, don't fucking hire that.
Someone that's not ready does it. They go, see? This is why we should never be no president. This is why it's just going to actually make the stereotype true.
gets canceled. And everybody yells at the person selling the tickets. Like that person was literally there to sell tickets and then get yelled at. That is their fucking part of their job. That's what the president is.
That's it. That's it.
Smile and wave and get blamed for fucking everything. And there's people, yeah, like that. He makes like fucking $400,000 a year.
It's not even that much money. They have to go speak.
Yeah, there's like
that's why they're speaking
15-year-old kids writing songs on YouTube make more fucking money than the president of the United States.
So true.
You don't think he has to fucking answer to somebody? The fuck out of here.
Anyway, you were talking about the female pilot going into Iowa.
Oh yeah, so we flew in. Yeah, it was fucking great. Yeah, it was awesome. And I all geeking out looking at all the different things that they have to do because it's totally different. It's the same principles but completely different.
Than helicopters?
Yeah. Well, we can kind of stop in the air, and if they stopped, they'd be just fucking dead. And
right.
They have like the whole glide slope and the 3 degrees and all the shit that they have to fucking line up.
Shit scares me.
Yeah. And But it's.
But the show was great.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's just.
But we went there, and they have not changed it ever since they had it. So it's like stepping back in time. They changed the green room a little bit, but they literally have like it locked. They have the phone booth where it's kind of morbid. Where Buddy Holly on the phone called his wife for the last time, and it was I don't know. I kind of ran out of stadiums to go to, so now I'm kind of on this music thing where I just try to go to like I'm doing this venue in Memphis coming up, and I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan Double Trouble fan, and Tommy Shannon, Chris Layton, Reese Winans. I fucking love that band, and I saw this clip of them. A new clip kind of came up of some live stuff that in Memphis I'd never seen. And I was like, oh, wow, where are they playing in Memphis? It was like, oh, the Orpheum.
That's so
Where am I going? And it was like Orpheum. And they did redo it one time. Because I get really into that whole walking on the same. If they redid it, I don't give a fuck. But if you're walking on the same boards, you feel like that magic or that energy is somehow in there. And like my last stand-up thing I did, my favorite concert footage of Led Zeppelin, and John Bonham's one of my favorite drummers, was in Royal Albert Hall. And like that was the big thing to get pushed through, where I was like, this is where Robert Plant stood, and John Bonham's drums were right fucking. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, and it still like kind of looks the same. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was like it gave me the chills.
Is that recent? Is it sort of like, as a stand-up, you're like, okay, I'm selling out theaters, I'm selling out stadiums. I'm built now.
No, Kevin Hart sells out stadiums. I'm theaters.
MSG is not a game. The Forum is arenas, and then it becomes about like, okay, the thrill is now that you can process all that or have gone through it. Now it's like, okay, I get to be in the presence of greatness.
You try to still be a fan, and then you still try to improve, and then you block out all compliments and criticism, except for somebody I respect. I'm not going to listen to what do you do for a living? I just fucking build cars and what the fuck do I know about it? You do what you do. What I do. You don't have to like it.
I have a friend that I knew there in Boston, and before I did stand-up, because I go to the writing class and everything, and I show them special, they film everything, and they always come to you, and you have that person in your life.
Yeah. She finally gets it up.
bounds.
I don't think that exists much anymore.
Yeah.
They try to fucking.
Someone was.
I mean, think about how offended people were. Okay, about so much fucking shit in the last meeting. Where is that now?
Nowhere.
It isn't.
It's
just
ephemeral outrage.
Yeah.
It's a drug.
I don't even know what that word means, but I'm
like
going to agree with it.
It's
Ephemeral?
ephemeral.
What is that?
Like it's easily turned over. It's quick, fast.
There you go.
It's here and then it's gone. It's like people are just
Like she didn't ride horses. Ephemeral.
I think we're addicted.
I was poor. Ephemeral.
Yes, I had to work fucking harder to try to go to college. I remember I was such a weirdo in high school, and I hate it when people say that. I hate it when people are like, I was a nerd in high school, but I was just like a weird like loner. I'm just like lonery. And I used to read the dictionary and try to memorize words because I didn't have an SAT tutor. So I would like memorize words. So that's
So you had to take the initiative.
Yeah.
I knew a woman like that a long time ago.
Who?
Well, I'm not gonna say her name, but
Oh,
she
I
was.
feel like I'm similar to one of your exes.
No,
or
she she danced on Broadway, and I wasn't seeing her or anything.
Yeah.
But she I remember the story.
All right, here we go. What's up, man? How are you?
Joe, great to be on your show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you and an honor. I've been following your work for a long time, man. I mean, I was first introduced to you and your methods by Steve Maxwell, who was a huge proponent of the kettlebell. And then I started getting into your
very
videos.
Smart coach, yeah.
Yeah, very good. And I started getting into your videos, and I've read your books. And so for me, it's an honor.
My pleasure.
How long have you been teaching and practicing with kettlebells? Since you were little?
Something like that. Medium.
Since you're medium
size. It's kind of
sized?
like baseball, It's pretty common
in
thing
Russia?
in the Soviet Union. Yeah, it is.
Why didn't it catch on here until you came over here?
You know what? I don't think people really tried.